For today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Oh, extra Scream.
Oh, yeah. This will actually come out on Labor Day, so happy Labor Day.
Yeah.
Celebrate people that work.
Mm-hmm.
Thank people that work.
Mm-hmm.
They're important, especially
Yes.
the ones that are doing the thankless jobs.
Thank
Janitors.
the farmers. Thank the janitors.
Uh-huh. Thank the store clerks.
Mm-hmm.
Different things like that.
Mm-hmm.
These are not lesser than people.
The people that are stocking your groceries.
Uh-huh. Yep. Truck drivers.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many of these, people that are taken for granted in our society that make our society run smoothly.
Yeah.
So, thank you all.
Yeah.
Whatever job you're doing, if you can't do a job anymore, that's all right, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you did the best you could with the job that you had while you had it.
Yeah.
And that includes people that are stay-at-home parents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is work. That is work.
Yeah, and it's a never-ending job.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's like, I did listen to Rick Levine talk about the month of September, and whoo.
Loves it. Loves it.
Yeah, well.
But seriously, to all the people that work, thank you. Your service is appreciated.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. And it's including people that are, maybe working fast food or at a restaurant or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everybody needs to do restaurant work at least once in their life.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to do retail at least once in their life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It'll make them appreciative.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
And that's part of the problem right now, is that we've got people, some of them have never done much of anything. And they sit there and they want to complain.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. If you have never done the job, then shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like, it has to be something really, really bad for me to complain. Now, there have been a few times, and it was a matter usually of going to sit there and going, if somebody's got a problem, you might want to see if they are all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, get to talk to these people. Thank them.
Yes.
If you're having a bad day, do not take your bad day out on other people. That's not hard.
Literally. Therapy is for those bad days.
Mm-hmm. And that is one of the things I will say. We had one of our people that was higher up, and I can't exactly remember what rank that she was right now when I was a corrections officer. And it was... She was increased in rank when I got there. After I had got there, let's put it that way. And her husband had been a road officer. There's questions about some of the things. That's neither here nor there. But she always would tell us, if you're having a bad day, leave it at the door.
Yes.
And one of the reasons that she would say that and emphasize that was because her sister was an inmate.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just other people. And it's like, these are people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those, when God makes it personal, you deal with situations in a totally different manner.
You do.
Yeah. So Labor Day. Thank these people.
Mm-hmm.
And
they need some respect.
Sure.
They need some respect.
They're human beings.
Yes.
They're human beings. Something else that I came across this article, and it was disturbing. It was disturbing to me. And this is from Daily Mail and is by Alex Hammer, which is an appropriate name because it's discussing a movie. And this came out August the 31st of 2024, and recording this actually on September the 1st. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's like, we're going to listen to the film podcast. We're going to do something. I don't know what, if we need a cough button or what.
I found cough drops in the drawer, so I should have pulled some of those out.
You'd suck it down the windpipe.
I would. It would just be like,
it's like, oh, listen.
Oh, yes.
Listen to them trying to do the Heimlich maneuver. You can't even call it the Heimlich maneuver anymore. It's patented.
Delicious candy.
Oh, God. God. I could. Oh, Lord. Anyhow, I had asked Kid, I said, are you familiar with this movie called The Craft? And he's like, sure.
Yeah, I've watched it.
And it's like, wow. And this article says that spooky behind-the-scenes tales from cult classic horror movie The Craft have resurfaced online, sending friends into a frenzy. Sending. Did I say friends?
Yeah, friends.
Fans. It said the 1996 movie about a coven of teen witches was entirely fictional, but showrunners hired a real-life Wicca consultant to ensure all spells and incantations were as accurate as possible. But behind-the-scenes reports of strange happenings on set soon began to emerge and were later made public in a host of interviews with the cast and crew. In one instance, during the film's most famous scene, Calling of the Corners, where the girls assemble on the beach to call upon a fictional deity, the tides kept sweeping in whenever the cameras rolled. Producers had reportedly chosen a fictional deity to avoid angering the pagan gods, but it has since emerged they allegedly ignored a warning from a local witch that the beach was a bad place for rituals. And says that actress Robin Tunney, who played Sarah Bailey, said a LA-based Dianic elder priestess, Pat Devon, said, quote, she had heard that the beach didn't like pagan ceremonies because she heard from some witch associates that it was a bad place for pagan rituals, end quote. No, never mind the end quote. Said, and she got ill, so we had to wrap up and go back there the next week. And she further recalled that the resurfaced interview conducted shortly after the film's premiere, and further stated, all the lights went out and the tide came in and washed up our altar. It was one thing after the next, end quote. She added that the waves would come so close whenever the cameras rolled that they would put the fire out on set. Then when they cut the cameras, the tides would pull back. And Tunney continued, quote, when the water came up and washed away the set, it should have been fun, spooky. Had we just been 4 girls out there on the beach doing it ourselves without a whole camera crew, it would have been petrifying. But the fact that you have these lights in the camera crew, sort of demystifies it. And she added, quote, creepy thing had happened that day, but it's like, ooh, the tide came in. Guess what? It's the ocean. The tide comes in. Oh, a power failure, she added, pointing how a portable generating powering the scene also cut out at one point during the chaos. She continued, the generator, it wasn't big enough for what we had to do. It's like, we're doing this witchcraft movie. It had to be witchcraft, she joked. The interview clip was recently posted on TikTok with the caption, you won't believe what happened when the cast of The Craft invoked the spirit of the beach. The tides actually changed and everything went wrong. It was like reality and magic collided. And other fans were quick to comment, with one saying, makes me want to watch this tonight. Speaking about the same scene, a crew member further added in a separate interview, while we were doing the invocation on the beach, it was strange. We would get into the invocation and the surf came up higher and then it would go down when we stopped. And the film's 20th anniversary director, Andrew Fleming, also brought up the seemingly supernatural circumstances during this scene. He said, quote, "It was just the odd thing where the girl started the incantations, the waves came up." And said at one point a wave came and wiped the whole set out.
Yeah. How's pissing off those ocean spirits for you?
Yeah. And Devin, meanwhile, also weighed in, speaking to fellow Wiccan John Britshadow, yellow him, about the scene in 1998.
What?
The beach scene was originally set at winter solstice in a circle of black candles in which the girls intended to sacrifice the small animals they had with them, although all the animals escaped unharmed. And continued.
She was into some dark magic.
I realize that sacrifice is a traditional part of religious practice, pagan and non-pagan. But I assure you that had any of the animals been hurt in the scene, I would have thrown a fit. In fact, I objected to Sarah picking up a goldfish and plopping it on the sand and releasing it into the sea because goldfish are freshwater fish. Fleming, somewhat bewildered, asked if I really thought anyone would notice. She went on to reveal how she had christened the deity Manon, a made-up name designed not to offend any spirits. And she said, as I understand it, in very early versions of the script, each of the girls had her own name for the ultimate deity. And, there's a little more there as far as them being teenagers and stuff. This is, as somebody that was delivered from the occult, and I used to talk about this years ago. I would talk about it quite frequently, and it was just interesting because I have literally had them take a step back away from me. Mm-hmm. Like they was going to catch something.
Like something was going to jump off of you, like a spook or something. Yeah. It's like, no.
And as somebody that was deep into the occult, because I was, it was not that I was doing anything that I thought was demonic intentionally or anything like that, but it's like, I was spared. I was at a level with the occult that a lot of people don't come out of it, not unscathed.
Yeah.
There's some people that lose their minds. There are some people that become possessed. I have seen people become possessed because this stuff is real. Mm-hmm. And I also understand how it is that Hollywood, as far as titillation and fascination, and especially for teenagers and stuff like that, that they can get drawn in to some of this stuff. And it's like, I'm not trying to piss off the Wiccans or anything like that. It's you do you. I can tell you my experience and what happened with me, and you've got your own path that you got to walk. But stuff like this, where the incantations and stuff are real, because if you're sitting and watching it, no. I even that stuff from the 70s, if they start any kind of incantation, I turn it off.
I will tell you, I did skip past those parts.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded those bits.
That's the smart thing to do. But this mystery and mystique of getting power, and it's like, that's not how that works.
No, and I think the lady, what title did they give her in this article? What was that?
Let me go back and look here where it was that elder priestess.
Elder priestess. I mean, sure, you could say that she was an elder priestess that they hired. She auditioned like anybody else.
Yeah.
She got the part because she fit the role. When she got into there, that's when she really started making the changes. She started making the changes, at least by her words it was.
Well, I think it's interesting.
Because she wanted it to be authentic, because she took this shit serious.
So there was true intention there also.
Yeah, she did not want to have a mockery be made of it.
Right. And that the forces of nature were trying to stop these people and they were too stupid to listen.
Yeah, that you don't piss off those water spirits. When those water spirits
Any of
say
that
no, you don't fuck with that.
Well,
that
I mean,
is God's land right there in that
everything
case.
Is.
Yeah.
Everything is. And for these people to not get that. And so it was deliberate and intentional, again, with the intention that they were going to do this regardless. And this is where people have become so separated from nature and the nature spirits and God who created everything that they don't get it and they want to think it's make-believe. And it's like there are consequences.
Yeah.
Anybody who's ever been involved in any of this stuff, there's consequences, severe ones.
Yeah.
Which is why God said, don't mess with that. Because you're dealing with unseen forces that you don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're dealing with sometimes lying spirits on some of this stuff. And these people try with the Ouija boards and all that shit. That scares me. Channeling, because I used to do that. It horrifies me now.
Well, it's a good thing I didn't put the song "Call Me on the Ouija Board" on the Halloween.
Yeah, I'm
notes.
glad you didn't. I mean, as far as a joke,
B, C, D, E, F, G.
but when
Call
you
me on
had
the Ouija board,
in
Ouija
your
board.
Aries bits in your chart against your mama's wishes, and then was going, oh, it's just ornament, and what happened?
I got the shit scared out of me, but it wasn't because I ever used that thing.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It was in your house. You allowed it into the house, and so therefore that was an invitation.
Okay.
I kept trying to tell you, these things are not toys.
No.
And as
That was
Halloween
how-
does approach, to try to warn people, don't go there. Don't go into that stuff. Now, we have fun, spoopy stuff. But as far as doing the occult, no, we don't.
No.
Because I can tell people stories that would make their hair turn white.
Yeah. You got some scary stories
Yeah,
on you.
I've lived some scary shit.
Yeah.
And it's like people have to make their own choices. But what I can do is sound the alarm on this stuff. And like I said, a lot of these teenage girls, when they're going through, this phase of life, and Hollywood and stuff puts that out there as far as, oh, you have untapped potential. You have untapped power. They're not telling these people the truth. Which is, if you do evil, it will return to you sevenfold. Doesn't mean it's going to happen the next day. It could be years, but there are, when the price has to be paid, and it may be something that people, they don't even think about it. They don't even remember that they were silly enough to get involved in that. Even if you're trying to do something that you think would help somebody.
Well, in a way, that was taught in the film.
Yeah.
It was taught.
That's a good thing.
Because that one girl, the chick that actually took this shit seriously, like, the final scene was her in, like, a mental institution room. She was flying.
Yeah.
She was flying like a butterfly.
Yeah. Even if people, it's like, oh,
She was a fae.
as far as love spells and different things, like, don't do it. None of that stuff. Don't do it. Because even if you think that you are trying to help someone, you, as a human, do not have the ability to see what God sees.
Yeah.
What you think may be helping someone could cause them great harm.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to help someone, go work at a food bank. Go help the people that are homeless. There are many places that you can go and volunteer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But as far as these unseen forces and stuff like it, leave it. Don't get involved in that.
Yep.
It's dangerous.
Yep.
So when this came up, and like I said, as far as spoopy season, and we loves us some spoopy season.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we do, it is an appreciation of things that other people find grotesque.
A define grotesque.
Well, even as
Does
far...
that include the Hello Kitty pastel pink? That's a form of grotesque.
That's an abomination. That's different. No, as far as if it is skeletons or different things like that, and I can go into, I won't, but I could, the design, the engineering, that it's just incredible. It has always amazed me.
Yeah.
If it is making fun of fear, is what Halloween is. It is not, we're not reverencing any of these things.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. But
we just enjoy it. We just enjoy the spooky. That's it.
Sure. The aesthetic of it.
Cool.
And especially if it is the old school, designs, the Halloween designs when they used to, I can't remember if it was the 20s or 30s or whatever it was, when they had those wonderful postcards and things. Those were gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Costumes were still terrifying.
Yeah. Because the costumes were designed so that you could go out amongst these other entities and not be recognized as human.
Yeah.
It was not to go out and display to the world your inner thought. I mean, seriously. Anymore, they're doing it all the time.
Because thought.
And it's like, that's a different type of story, because there's consequences for that shit too.
Oh, Lord, Mama.
It's true.
It ain't that.
It is true. Now, whatever season we're in, because it's like there's never much of a filter.
Lord help.
We are in a time when people need to speak unfiltered truth. And that's just how I live my life.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't go out in public much, because I embarrass you.
Love you.
Oh, but please, I don't want anybody to have to go through what I have gone through in my world. And if one person comes up and it's like, hey, I listened to Orlinda and she said, leave this stuff alone. If it prevents somebody else from being hurt, then it's worth it. Final thoughts, kid?
Don't do stupid shit. Don't do witchcraft. It's a good movie. Just mute the incantation and spell parts. And
don't let that
like
in your house. Don't let it in your house, because that means that you have consented. There's plenty of other spooky movies out there that don't include incantations and stuff.
Yeah.
Have discernment on those things too.
What if it's like...
Watch Casper the Friendly Ghost.
What was it? Toil and Trouble. Cauldron Burn. What? Bubble.
Oh, as far as Shakespeare?
Yeah. The type of movies that have that just stupid made up.
That's not the same. I mean, they're not, prose is not the same.
What?
Now, if somebody wanted to truly get into that, you got to realize, again, with the intention, what is in your heart. And you got to realize what a spell is. A spell is words, speaking words. Yeah. So you can either speak blessings or you can speak curses.
Yeah.
Words are some of the most powerful things on earth. Wield them wisely.
Think before you speak.
Yeah. Sometimes think twice before you speak.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take them back. Once they're out there, they're out there. And sometimes sorry is not enough. So, if you've had experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, put that in the comment section. That, or you can send me an email. Yes, I'm behind on the emails again. Sorry. It happens. And it's cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and it's there in the description box somewhere.
Mm-hmm. If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, share. Check her out on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream at fuck, I was about to be like that, gmail.com.
Focus.
Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. YouTube, BitChute, Rumble. Yes.
Stratera, you do have a prescription still.
Remember, I'm tired.
You might want to think, or do your research. It helps me tremendously. It
Mom,
does.
I had to lift multiple bags of cement today.
Oh, God.
I'm tired.
All right, you want to talk about your mama being 50-some years old and lifting 50 pounds of horse feed?
I've done that too.
You want to go there?
I've done that too.
Uh-huh. You're 25. Anyhow, I'll match you. I'll go toe-to-toe with you on it.
I'm asking you to give me a little bit of leeway, damn it.
Know that you
X.
are loved.
Previously known as Twitter. What?
Orlando, COCWS over there on X. We're on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTubes.
Yes.
That's it. Show us some love. Tell some other people if they need mirth, whatever. Sit there and go, listen to the mountain goth. It's a thing. Oh, God, it's a thing.
Southern mountain goth.
It's Appalachian Mountains. That's
Yeah.
where it is. So, know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.